Here, just did a client update and a little bit of post in my client group about what a vacuum is. And it's interesting because I've been putting it on people's programs, but this is the first time someone's ever asked me what a vacuum was. And maybe people skip over it, but vacuums are super important. Like, you pull your stomach in, you pull your belly button towards your spine, like, as much as you can. You should be doing this daily, not just when you do ab exercises, but when you're sitting here, pull your stomach in. Like, a lot of people have tiny waists. Like, a lot of times, like, your abs and your stomach aren't going to get tiny unless you're doing training for them. So to make it smaller, you have to do a vacuum. So essentially, you're pulling your belly button in towards your spine, sucking it in, pulling it in, while you're still breathing. That's upstairs, Sammy. It's not downstairs. That's coming from upstairs. It's your dad. Oh boy. Because I sweat a lot, clinical deodorant. Honestly, it was on sale at the dollar store. Wearing the new hoodie. Gonna go train, cardio. I'm gonna get my brows done. And I might tan, yes. Your girl fakes and bakes, and there's no shame in my game. I haven't really been feeling motivated to what's the word? Drink my water today for some reason. Normally I'm really good with it, but I don't know. I should put those ice drinks. Do you know what ones I'm talking about? Those are on my mind.
Okay, Donnie, let's get your waist trainer on.
It's not a waist trainer.
Oh. What is this, a little sweatband?
Yeah.
Come here, Donnie.
No, don't, because it'll get dirty.
How do you expect them to be stage ready?
It's not. And I wanted to come on here because I get a lot of questions. I hate when people say that, but like I actually do, like, as a coach and an athlete, like, what shoes do I pick? Like, what shoes should I wear to my show? And this is going to be geared towards figure, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about bikini as well. Now, as you see, I have an array of shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs that I have in front of me right now. I feel like I have more, but these are ones that I've worn on different occasions. I've done about 9 figure shows and 2 bikini and a couple of like modeling like competitions or whatever. So countless hours of posing with different posing coaches, posing with myself, practicing. This is just my opinion and what I found works well for me and my goals. And I am now, firstly, like, actually, you know, really genuinely wanting to help people. I'm a coach now, so wow, words, I'm gonna have to edit this. Okay, firstly, welcome to my channel. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, thank you for coming back. If you are new to this channel, my name is Alicia Bell. I'm an IFBB figure pro, having won my pro card at the Canadian Nationals most recently in October. A little bit more about my background I'll get into in a little bit, but I just wanted to introduce myself. Thank you for clicking on the video. Like, subscribe, comment. This is my opinion only. If you have another opinion or suggestion, please feel free to comment. I'm not about to tell you you're wrong because this is just what I have found. So, okay, I showed you a little bit about each pair of shoe, and now I'm going to talk about each shoe and what's good about them and what's not, and I'll tell you where I got them and my experience with the shoe. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you which shoe I do think is best for figure, my reasoning why, and I'm not going to show any clips of me posing in them in this video. Maybe I'll do a second video later when I'm further along in my prep. Right now I'm currently just starting my prep for my pro debut 2019. I'm really excited about it, but yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. So first up are these Ellie shoes. So you can get platform shoes or non-platform shoes. So none of these shoes are like completely full-on like stripper platform. This is as close as to stripper platform that I actually have. So they're these, as you can see. I think it's about like a 2-inch platform, and it's a circular prong with the circular heel head here. Now these shoes I found are ridiculously comfortable. Like, I don't know if you can see, but they have a lot of like cushion here and there by Ellie, which is very popular. I think I got these actually at like a stripper store, which you can go to a sex store and buy like clear heels all the time. But this is what I think I got these ones on 1 Street on Yonge Street. But the thing for figure I find is, first of all, most of us girls who do figure, okay, so these shoes, again, I bought them at a store. Barely any use with them because I find I can walk great in these shoes because of the platform. They're really comfortable. But to get into why I don't like them is I find, do you see here how, say it was on a flat surface, it rocks? So the toe off. For a bikini, this is fine if you're a bikini girl who doesn't have to squeeze her legs or in certain poses. Because when there's a rock in the shoe, you can't ground your toes and dig in and pull apart to flex those quads. And in figure, you want to show off your quads. You want those puppies to flex. So it's harder to flex when you can't ground yourself. So the rock on this particular platform, no bueno for figure. Beautiful shoes, don't get me wrong, but if you want to maximize your posing, not the right shoe for you. Second up, the very first pair of posing heels that I've ever had. As you can see, they've been worn. I wore them for multiple competitions. I wore them bikini, I wore them for figure. They're comfortable. They have a strap. Strap. So, I do like them. They are a little lower on the platform. As you can see, it has a mini platform, maybe like 1/2 inch. It, again, is the circular heel here. So a lot of people ask me, like, do I get 3-inch heels, 4.5, 6? Again, the height is only what you're comfortable with. There's no, like, you have to have 3-inch, you have to have 6 inches in most organizations. Some sure may say it have to be a certain height, but whatever. If there's no regulations, you're free to wear what you're comfortable in and what you can walk in. And I suggest that if you can't walk in a 6-inch heel, do not buy a 6-inch heel because you need to be able to rock your shit in those heels. So anyways, I think this is like a 4. And it's great, but again, I don't know if you can tell, it does have that toe up. So yes, again, toe off. So great for bikini. It's okay for figure, not the best. Strap, no strap. My take on the strap, no strap is if there's a strap You have to be very careful that you do put on your shoes prior to getting bikini bit, because once you're bikini bit, you can't bend down to do up your shoe. You're gonna have to find somebody for you to do it for you if you are bikini bit. It's not as easy to slip on and off on show day. Not my favorite, but it's a little bit more like you have to be aware of when you're putting your shoes on and when you're taking them off, and you can't really adjust them once they're on if you're bit and tanned and everything. So there's that. So that's something to think about if you don't want to be bothered with the strap. Not terrible, not the best. So these are again Ellie. So those are the two Ellies. Next up, I got all the next 4 from this company called Shoe Fairy. So these next ones I wore quite a bit. Won a provincial show with it. I think I wore them to nationals, I believe. They're blinged out. Do I get blinged? Do I don't get blinged? Honestly, they're not judging you on your shoes. That's up to you, how much you want to spend on your shoes. Like, the more bling there is, obviously, the more expensive that the heel is going to be. Not a clear platform, but you can see that there is a platform. Again, I have learned, when I bought these, I didn't know, that they do have that toe thing. So you can't put your foot in and really pull apart those toes and spread them apart to squeeze your quads quite so well. They are comfortable, so you see here, I like that they do slide. And don't be afraid, like a lot of girls are afraid, like if it doesn't have the strap, I put the shoe on, I'm scared my foot's gonna slide and I'm gonna twist my ankle. These puppies are built that once your foot is in there, your foot is in there. It is not sliding out. If you should buy true to size, if not half size smaller, and you'll have to stretch the plastic to make it 100% fit. But if the shoe is too big, or if you find you're sliding in it because you're sweating or your foot, you can buy inserts, and you can put a little insert here on the bottom to make up for the negative space in your shoe. But yeah, these shoes served me well. I thought they were the best at the time because I liked that they were a little bit higher for the platform. I liked that they were comfortable, and I love the bling. Come to learn, like, the best part about them is that they're slide for me because they don't have the ankle strap and I don't have to worry about it, and they're really easy to take on and off if you're backstage by yourself, like say at the Arnold's. There's no coaches allowed backstage at the Arnold's, so unless you're there with like a teammate or a friend to help you with the strap, like, you know, sliding is your best option. Plus, I love the bling. Like, I'm a bling girl, but not everybody's a bling girl. They were okay. Okay shoes. Next on the agenda, I wore these. They're like the next step up from the bling shoes. So you see here, these are also, again, from the Shoe Fairy. The difference, there's less of a platform. You see that? And, oh, these two bottoms are both square. So instead of the circle, they're square. I find with the square, it feels like I have more of a base, if that makes sense, versus the circular. I don't know, for some reason when I'm walking, I feel more stabilized with the square. So anyways, the shoe is taller, and I like the higher heels. I used to be like a high heel kind of girl when I used to like be really social. And the toe off is lower, okay? So I found my quads would show a lot better with these shoes. Now, I wore these at Arnold's. I wore these at the Toronto Pro where I won my class. I wore these at the Vancouver Pro where I did not win my class. And I wore these for the prejudging where I won my pro card, okay? So, not perfect, but I like the slip-in, I like the heel height, I like the square, and I like that it's not as rounded here, so I can secure my foot and squeeze. But it's, again, isn't the best option for that. What I did wear for the finals when I won my pro card is, they're not blinged out, they're pretty basic, low profile, but I don't know if you can see the difference in the toe. It is flat on the ground. That alone is an amazing thing for figure, because I'm going to show you. Now, this might not give you the best idea, but when you're in your pose, whether your toes are out or straight for posing, when you can pull apart your feet in the ground to squeeze those quads, you're grounded, right? So I'm really grounded here. So whereas if you see I put on this heel, for example, I don't know if you can tell, it's higher up off the ground. So I'm going to put it on the ground. Oh, it's weird wearing two different shoes. So, do you see the difference? And so if I want to squeeze my quads, I have to pull apart in the ground. Whereas I can't get super flat here because my toe isn't pressed and I can't spread those toes. And what I mean by that, I'm not full on posing for you guys because I'm just not show ready, but this is the flat surface, this is the toe up. So I can get a better traction with the ground with the flat foot versus this one. Now mind you, everyone's legs come in a bit differently, and what you have to do to get them to show is differently. So you might find that the turned out slightly toe with the platform, you'll be able to get your quads showing. But for me, they show a hell of a lot better, and you can see that in the finals where I did wear these flat ones and I was able to squeeze a little bit more. So now for my pro debut, I've decided to go with a little higher. So this one, which is the shoe that I really like, that I wore for Arnold's and that I wore for prejudging to get my pro card. This is by the Shoe Fairy. It's flat, like this one. It has the square heel. It's blinged, which I like, but I've decided to go with a strap. Now, I would have bought this shoe without the strap if they offered it like this, but I wanted to try with the strap. So this is kind of the best of every world, minus the fact that I may have to time myself to put on the shoes properly. But I have the square, I have the flat shoe where I can spread my toes and squeeze, and I have the strap. So in my opinion, the two best types of shoes are going to be square heel. It can be strap or no strap, but this flat bottom. Now, my second favorite option would be, I don't know the names of these shoes, sorry, unfortunately. The one thing about these is that the diamonds fall out, so unless you're like super extra careful, you can probably find stones to like replace them with or whatever. But it's close to pretty much flat. It does have a platform, but this part is straight. And so this would be my second option for a shoe. So best, second best, absolute freaking worst possible scenario here. And yeah, so the best bet, especially if your figure, is to try them on in the store and see where you can squeeze your quads the most in which shoe. If you can't try them on in a store, I would say go straight to buying one of these and drop your ego at the door and you know, if you want to save some money, that doesn't have to be bling, but a simple shoe seems to be the best shoe for figure and squeezing those quads and getting those quads activated, in my opinion, versus something where it turns up like this, because you can't push and grip and pull apart the ground like you should when you're flexing your quads with something like this. So that, my friends, is my shoe story. Thank you, Shoe Fairy. I purchased all of these shoes myself. This is not a sponsored video. And it's always good to have two pairs of shoes with you backstage, because you never know if someone's going to steal a set. I'd like to think people are all honest, but you never know. I've seen someone's shoes get stolen. I've also seen someone break their shoe backstage and they broke their heel. And you don't want to be scrambling last minute. So double up on your suit, your shoes, just all the important things, because you never know what's going to happen. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped you out a bit. I'm going to do a version part 2 where you can actually see the difference in me squeezing my quads later on down the road when I'm further into this prep. But thank you so much. And don't forget to share this video with your clients and your friends or whoever, and they're trying to figure out what shoe to wear. Bikini girls, again, not trying to leave you out. I'm just a figure girl, but I also coach bikini, and I say for the bikini girls, literally all the same things if you have to squeeze your quads in certain poses, or if you have to, you know, make sure you're grounded. But bikini girls is a little bit more freedom, okay? And the best thing about a bikini athlete for heels is that if you have that rocking toe, you can look prettier. Like you can have, sorry, my camera overheated, but what I was saying is that in your like side pose, like when you're bikini and you have your foot up, it's nice to have that rocking part in the front, because you can dig the tiptoe in like this into the ground and it rocks. Whereas if a flat one, it doesn't quite dig and it's more like your little toe like on the ground, like that versus like that. So think about that for bikini, unless you have to squeeze your quads in like certain poses to make your like glute or hip pop. But bikini, go to town on whatever shoe you find comfortable. Figure, really think about the best way that you're going to be able to activate your quad muscles. Guys, I just wanted to add in one more thing to the shoe video. Grips. So some shoes are more slippery than others. So if you put these on the bottom of the shoe, they literally help you grip to the ground. And different stages have different materials that they're made of. Like for instance, Arnold is a carpet. And then there's a different stage, which is like this weird whatever. And then some are more slippery because it's an auditorium. So if you get these, this guarantees the consistency of your step. And you know what it's going to feel like. Whereas like when you're on an unsteady surface and stuff, like you don't really know. But these little guys help grip. Like they're rubbery and they grip like any surface much better than if you didn't have them. Pro tip.